social media, I posted things that when she said she was with Gail, and she said, "Were you intimate with Tory Lanez?" And she said, "What?" And then it was like, "No." And I was like, "Ah, she lying."
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I knew she's lying. There wouldn't be no reason for me to be around each other, babe. And then from that, it felt like she was lying to me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, little things would pop up, and I wasn't being supportive of her at that point.
You were
then,
a little more vocal.
Yeah, and the only reason why I felt like, at some point you should apologize, I should apologize to her, is because when I heard the phone conversation,
yeah,
that made me feel like, oh shit, now I know what happened.
Yeah.
Well, we posted every Friday. See them corn emojis, then you know it wild. Jaded Gemini till the day I die. And I'ma talk my shit, but I don't play both sides. So nah.
Fitty, fitty, fitty.
Mr. Fitty Pennies.
I thought you were gonna do your intro.
What's up, world? We back again. It's your your favorite YouTube couple. I mean, we're at least in your top 5 at the very least.
I was gonna let you have your moment. I was waiting for it.
Hey,
Had to remind you.
Thank you.
So today we're gonna be talking about 50 Cent on the what is it, the Big Boy TV? Is that what's called? I don't want to misspeak.
Mr. Big Boy's Neighborhood. Shout out Big Boy's Neighborhood.
Yeah, Big Boy TV.
Remember when Playboy Cardi, wasn't he on there and he was like, you know what they call me? He was like,
He was like, "Do you know what this is?" And he was like, "I don't never heard that in my name." He was like, "Bro, that's me."
DJ Fat Stacks. No,
I've never heard that in my life.
I don't know.
So 50 is on here, and he's talking about a multitude of things, but our Patreons voted for us to talk about 2 specific topics that he hit on in this podcast. And I said I wanted to leave this in 2022, but this man over here apologizing, so I would like to hear it. I saved my reaction for y'all. Daniel did too. But yeah, he talking about Meg, y'all.
Oh,
he talking about Meg.
Naja, you did say that we're not doing that no more. What are we doing?
Look, I mean, I know from our comment section, I know that there are some people out in the ether that want to see the people who ridiculed her come forward and admit that they were being less than. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Less than becoming of themselves. So.
Okay.
We've got 50.
Mr. Branson Cognac, Lychee Mendore, Get the Strap.
And to refresh y'all memory, this is what he posted about Meg. Daniel. Like,
put it back up.
Y'all, this is what he posted. He said, "Run, Ricky, run. What the F is really going on?" And then put Tory in here. Nah, he tagged his cognac.
Hashtag Branson Cognac. Hashtag Lychee Mendore.
Oh my!
I did not see that you were gonna show this picture either. I had no idea that was coming.
We've talked about this before. Right when you read that, I got a flashback from another podcast. We were talking about this.
Oh, what did I say?
Nothing. You were just reading it. I was like, oh my gosh, I remember we were talking about this. If y'all could find the episode, put it in the comments. But let's hear. Oh, and he also made another post. I couldn't find it, but he compared her to Jussie Smollett. Yeah. 50. What are you smoking? What's
Nah, he's not smoking. He's drinking Lychee Mendore.
You need to chill, broski.
He's drinking
pot.
But at the same time, a lot of people had that energy back then, especially because back then everybody and people did lie about a lot of stuff. That's why they got compared to Juicy.
Yes.
Let's keep it a buck here, bro. Let's dial it back because the memes, they were memeing real good over there. But at the same time,
I feel like if anybody should be compared to Jussie, it should be Tory. Because you didn't shoot her, you did shoot her, you didn't shoot her, you did shoot her. Like,
I think he's more of an OJ at this point. He's more of an OJ Simpson, but just nobody died, thank God.
And he ain't get off. Here, I'm about to play this. Hold on. because
at some point you should apologize. I should apologize to us because when I heard the phone conversation,
Yeah.
that made me feel like, oh shit. Now I know what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure that was probably what.
He said what made him think that it didn't happen was when he saw the thing with Gail. Remember?
That made him think it didn't happen?
Yes, because he
That's
said...
That's funny, because that made me think it did happen. I said every time, I'm like, wow, that looks like a fresh one.
Nah, that man said when he heard Meg say that she didn't hook up with Tory, he was like, she a liar and everything else she says is a lie. My thing, I think that they hooked up too. But I still think that she got shot, like, as was proven in court.
Broken clock.
Two things can be right at the same time.
Nah,
like,
twice a day, a broken clock. Still right time.
Would sway people in court too.
50 added that.
Here, I want y'all to hear that other part too. My bad. I didn't know it was all the way at the end. But
Well, damn, 50. 50.
here, he's going to explain his train of thought.
Relationship with him. However, a specific point in the trial made
Just Megan Thee Stallion. I said some things, and it was because on social media I posted things that when she said she was with Gail, and she said that she said, "Were you intimate with Tory Lanez?" And she said, "What?" And then it's like, "No," and I was like, "Ah, she lying." At that point, I knew she was.
So,
Just,
that's it, bro. That's all it took.
Train of thought.
What?
Oh yeah, she's clearly lying, y'all. She lied. I mean, I ain't gonna lie.
It's funny. That's how you know if somebody is like not. Look, that's how I said I knew she was lying about that specifically. Because what do people do when you catch them in a lie? You like, what did you say? What did you? Huh? What? Huh? What do you mean, huh? Like, what are you talking about?
And they start looking to the.
Oh my goodness. Oh no, bro. We just.
They say you better stop talking about
God.
Meg. You
I'm
better not
scared.
do that.
Yo, here I'm about to play the rest of this.
Hashtag Leech
It would be no reason for me to be around each other. And then from that, it felt like she was lying to me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, little things would pop up, and I wasn't being supportive of it.
Right. You were a little more vocal.
Yeah, and the only reason why I feel like, you know, at some point you should apologize. I should apologize to us because when I heard the phone conversation,
Yeah.
that made me feel like, oh shit. Now I know what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure that was probably what.
My thing is 50. What about them text messages of Tory being like, bro, I know you're never gonna talk to me again, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Whoa,
Nigel, we say this every time, and this is why we were supposed to leave this in 2020.
All right, well, I'm done on it then.
People
Say
that
your
do
piece.
not tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help them God. People don't believe them a lot of the time, and when people stop believing you, sometimes you're the boy that got shot. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is, bro. But as long as you just stop hanging around with hooligans, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Keep it on you for them desperate times. You should be good.
Emphasis
hopefully.
on not hanging out with hooligans when you got millions. Like what? the
Hopefully.
hell?
But also, don't jump to conclusions too fast and then like go full.
Especially when it's serious. Like
Judgment.
this isn't a movie. This is real life. And I know somebody in the ether is gonna be like, "Well, 50 got shot." Okay, well, bro, that
Several
wasn't funny
times.
either. Like, bro, that was intense. Like, what the hell?
Nah, but a lot of people argue that type of rambunctiousness leads to that type of reaction from people, but also that once you get that type of reaction from somebody, you no longer fear it if you're a certain type of person.
Well, I'm gonna need him to get the fear back in his heart because that's something to be scared of. Like,
Gotta
that
read this
is
book.
nothing.
Nah, it's a good book.
So before we move on to the next topic, there was another point in the podcast or the interview, more a podcast, that y'all wanted us to hit on, and it was the fact that he said being depressed is a privilege. And I thought it was really interesting that he talked about this because that was one of Meg's defenses, you know, that her mental health and all that stuff, and she spoke openly about wanting to, you know, because all this stuff, like, so I'm just like, dang, bro, like, okay, so you apologize. Anyway, Meg and Tory aside, like you said, keep it in 2022.
Yeah, keep it in 2020.
Let's hear what 50 has to say about depression being a privilege.
My boy was going in on that Big
that
Boy
as
podcast
Sunday.
in the morning, man.
All right.
You are. And in my journey, like there's certain things that I'm not really, I don't even let it into my system like that. Like I think depression is a luxury.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Because when I'm from, you can't afford to be depressed. You gotta pay the bill, right?
Right.
So you gotta go to work. You gotta get up. You gotta go do what you gotta do. You you got people right now that's at work don't feel like being there,
Mm-hmm.
but they got responsibilities, so
Yes, sir.
they feel uncomfortable while they're working, while they're doing what they gotta do. Like when these guys get in a slump and they just decide that they're not gonna do anything, I'm like, where they do that?
Right.
Even when you go to the street, you got a pack. You just decide not to come outside.
Yeah, I think that is low-key some realness, but it can get semantical real quick because, I mean, when you're talking about an actual emotion people go through, that is not a luxury, a choice, a privilege, or none of that. But if you're talking about the action, like the verb of being depressed, i.e. not doing stuff,
I feel like there's a
That makes
difference
sense.
between the emotion of being sad
right,
and the mental state of depression.
okay,
Because the mental state of depression has the side effects that he's talking about, where you don't get up, you don't want to do shit, right? You could be sad and push through at work. People be depressed at work and blow their brains out at the job. Like,
I don't know, Naj.
Like, depression's different than just being sad.
All of those things that you just mentioned, I mean, they are very different, but within themselves, if you're talking about somebody that has to go to work or flip a pack or, drive a truck, is not really an option, I think is what he's saying. If your responsibilities are too vast, regardless of how you feel, you still need to show up.
And my response to that would be, even if that person does show up and do all those things, and later on down the line, it's going to lead to health complications and shit.
Sure.
And I feel like that's why we, as minorities, be having, like, hella health complications and stuff. And, yeah, bro, we do not glamorize rest and recharging for real. That should just be a social media trend for a little bit amongst the younger generation whose body ain't even burning out yet, for real. Like,
My rebuttal to that, though, is, eventful and sometimes problematic life comes with those long-term consequences. But if you're just sitting around being depressed all day, I promise you're not even going to be able to see those long-term effects of your ill actions or lack thereof.
no, I
Because you're going to be
agree.
one with your sofa. It's going to be like growing on you. You know how it go.
No, I agree. I just don't think being depressed is a luxury because people be taking themselves out. That's not a luxury, bro.
Again, if people break every day, that's another conversation within itself. I don't think that's what he was referring to, that person, though. I think he was referring to your everyday typical person that goes through something, and how if you do have things you have to atone for or take care of, you got to be present to take care of it. I mean, regardless.
I'm gonna
of how you
close
feel.
this with, I feel like we've been so freaking conditioned in this country to think that healthcare in itself is a luxury, and that's where we're getting. I think that's where we're having like a moral versus culture thing going on. Cause you're right. If you don't work here in capitalism, you don't get capital. You don't eat.
Yeah.
That's reality.
Yeah.
But
if there's a systemic
it's
problem, though, you
killing
wanna
us though.
condition
It's
people
killing
for
us
it
though,
as
and it's
opposed to
killing.
lie to
And not to
them.
go far left, but it's killing our planet. It's killing us. Like, right? It's not a good system for not that many people. You know who it is good for though? 50 Cent. He's one of the few people it is good for. That's why I'm just like,
But
I don't know if that's really a luxury,
if
bro.
50 Cent is aware that your average individual is not going to be a 50, they're not going to be a 50 pennies, and they're going to have to go to their job every day, regardless of how they feel, regardless of what type of hustle you're trying to be, for you to even see better days, you do need to, unfortunately, condition your brain to be a little bit happier even in the worst of times.
Yeah.
You have to. And
I think he was trying to relate.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to say to the working class people, I see you. I see that you got to do what you got to do. But because he hasn't been there in so long, it just came out wrong. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like he had good intentions with what he was saying, like on some Kim Kardashian. People don't want to work these days. I know she really meant, like, people don't want to earn an honest living. They'd rather get online and show they, like, I get it.
When I was on
but
the block,
it didn't come out right because you've been
block,
disconnected.
He
like,
said when I was on the block, I couldn't just not sell this pack because the pack was just still going to be in my pantry. The Kim Kardashian did not say that, bro. I had to stop you there. Okay, but I mean, get it how you live.
Just trying to make a connection.
Definitely self-care is important, but handle your business, bro, so you don't got to be depressed for too long. Make a way.
I mean, shoot, all the stuff I be seeing on TikTok of people asking for donations and stuff like that. That's why I'm just like, I don't think anybody be asking to be in that. Or they be like, bro, I can't physically do nothing. I need stuff. I be like, dang, bro.
Sometimes you gotta leverage certain things with passion, bro. Mm-hmm. I mean, bro, you talk all day about some dead endness or, you know, some situations here. Mm-hmm. Nobody is exempt, but hard times don't last forever, bro.
Yeah, what do y'all think? What do y'all think
really
about not so much the apology. I mean, if you want to comment on the apology, that's cool. But what do y'all think about that last one? Because that last one is really like a jerker right there. Because it could go one or two ways. I see both sides. I just feel like it was worded weird, you know. But I get his intention.
What would you do,
John? What would you do?